Yeah, I'm making almost double than what I make in my full-time job too. So how long should it be going well for you to be able to take the plunge? Like 6 months, 2 months, a year?
So it's continually asking the question, man, what business model could I build around this? And there's so many.
So I've had this channel for a year now. I've been on YouTube 4 years. So this is my second channel. I pivoted to this and it's gone really well in a year. And when I was here last time, I asked you about going full-time when I wasn't even really close to going full-time. Like I was making a little bit of money a month. And that's when we talked about, when you had said when I made about 25% of, that magic number, then to quit and go for it. Well, I'm now making about 80% of that magic number and I'm still scared to go full-time.
No, but we got to celebrate. This is coffee with Smith. That is crazy. So, and what's cool, I totally remember us talking and I was like, you're way closer than you realize.
Yeah, you said
so. It was how much do you need per month to pay your bills? And I said, when you're at 25%, you should go all in. Did you go all in?
No, I'm scared.
so now you've really supplemented those. So that means there's quite a bit of abundance because you have your main thing and this thing's doing 80% of that. So you have a little bit of extra.
Yeah, I'm making almost double than what I make in my full-time job too. So, but the one thing I didn't ask and that I was confused about was like, it's been going well for 2 months, so that didn't occur to me back then. Like, how long should it be going well for you to be able to take the plunge? Like 6 months, 2 months, a year, like I know YouTube and I mainly rely on AdSense. I don't really have much else going on yet, but I am looking into memberships and merchandise and all the other income streams. But so maybe I should get a couple of those going first. But you had said that my AdSense would probably be a huge part for my channel because of the way it was going then. And I'm getting lots of views and my RPM is pretty good.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of, I don't know if I've never run a business before. I've had a government job for 20 years, right? So I'm like, it's great talking to all the people in Elite because there's some business owners there are giving me some advice, but I thought it would be great to get your take on it where I am now.
This is a fun conversation. So first of all, I know I said, go all in at 25%, but the way you're doing it sounds a little bit like how I would do it, which I like being conservative. I lean on the extra solid path rather than jump out when you are $1, when you have $1 enough of abundance versus a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of savings. To answer your question specifically, how long should things be going well? I think there's something about having 6 months of consistent results. I think that's interesting. You said there's 2 months. So there's something about seeing 6 months. The better answer would be 12 because there's something about learning cycles. We can have a black swan event like C19, which is not even a cycle, it's a total outlier, but cycles of holidays, cycles of ups, cycles of downs. One of the things that's been interesting to observe is some people are discouraged by their views being down on YouTube right now overall, comparing it to the era they remember of 2020, 2021, when people were so locked down and on their phones all the time. Now we are really seeing a return to shopping, malls, outdoors, and no doubt about it. I mean, YouTube is getting zillions of views and shorts are getting zillions of views. So it's not like there's still a lot of people consuming, but there was an era during COVID when it was like 10 times higher than it was right now. What's my point? The longer of cycles you can see, the better. I think also the better that the longer you double your income like you're doing right now, the bigger the cushion you can create. And so I think it's always incredibly wise to have cash reserves, to have a 6-month emergency fund. So that also would give you some peace of mind, is not just to have, if you will, doubled your income, but to have your monthly needed amount of income 6 months reserved liquid. Now you can survive cycles because you're like, okay, well, half the year things are really good. To me, it would seem your subject matter is entertaining 24/7, 365. But some of those conservative moves would be very wise. Emergency fund, keep doing what you're doing if you're finding it sustainable. How's your sleep and energy and rest going with maintaining both?
It's been difficult. Yeah. But I actually recently, because I wanted to get more videos out, like it takes me about 2 to 3 weeks to get a video out. And I've recently hired a friend of mine to do some research for me because that's a huge part of it. So that's helping. So I'm able to do that, give her a few hours a week, and it's making a big difference. This is the first week I'm doing it. But yeah, it's like you're running on both ends, right? Trying to keep the channel going and keep it engaging and keep videos going. But luckily people are watching, like I don't post for 3 weeks, but I'm still getting the same amount of views, that I was when I posted the last time. So it's going well now, but I just, you never know if it's going to continue at the same rate.
And that's the other buffer for the YouTube creator, which was also similar to my goal earlier on. We were doing one of our coaching sessions, and I was talking about to Jenna that she should get 5 to 10 ranked videos. For you too, I think, this 2 months old is still getting 28 views. This 3 months old is still getting 50 views per hour. This 5 months old is getting 343 views per hour. Obviously, we talked about last time, it would be nice if you could just do this every time and print videos like this. But you are definitely in a different position if over your next 50 videos, 10 of them have this kind of baseline. If you had 10 videos working for you, getting you 343 views per hour, we oftentimes call a good YouTube video an employee that you pay once that works for you for weeks, months, and years to come. You have to pay because, like you said, you pay with your time, your energy. It takes so long to make these powerful stories. But once you've done the work, if all goes well, this video literally works for you for the next couple of years, paying you ad revenue, even though you don't touch it. So the oversimplified answer to the conversation is just keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, like it's entirely up to you when you can tolerate. How much comfort do you want before jumping out? How much, stability do you want? And that brings me to, I think, one thing that you could start exploring would be this idea of brand deals potentially, or this idea of asking what business model could you connect to this? So I like to think about like, if there's maybe something you personally love and would get behind, and let's say it was something that was like paracord or something like, and you try to think about how much broad appeal could it have. So this is like a really cool premium paracord handmade leather camera strap. So maybe it could be some kind of a pocket knife. It could be some kind of a thing. And this is up to you, right? What I'm talking about is what could you sell? What could serve your audience? What could people that are interested in maybe adventuring themselves? What could something be that's truly that you could be proud of? A friend of mine actually runs a company that helps creators. It's called Product, as in like a product you're proud of, especially when you think about sometimes white labeling low quality products from AliExpress versus what if there was something that was that irresistible, like, oh, I got to buy that. Oh, $25, I got to buy that. And imagine so when we think about ultimately advertising on YouTube, it's going to come down to a really simple equation. End of the day, no matter, everybody watching this is all selling something. Even the people that are uncomfortable with sales, everybody watching this is selling something. What YouTube has created is people giving their attention by watching videos. And one of two things are going to be sold, maybe multiple things. Number one, if you go, I just want ad revenue, I just want people to advertise on my videos, you have to consider, and this would be very true for you, Stacie, you're making mini documentaries. Are probably, I would argue, you're probably one of the lowest paid documentary filmmakers in the world right now. Because you're putting out these masterpiece stories of research and the thumbnail, and you're putting the whole thing together, and you're getting paid on that ad revenue. It's a big blessing, but the attention you're getting for YouTube, the platform, is allowing them to put ads on your videos, split the revenue with you. But the people putting ads on your videos, they're all selling something. They're selling a product, a service, a car, something. So that the deep question that should maybe trouble us at night here at Coffee with Cannell is simply asking, hey, wait a minute, why am I not selling something? At the end of the day, and chances are, if smart advertisers were advertising on your videos, they would understand that the people interested in your content might be into outdoors, might be into they might be into like maybe some natural living. So they could buy some bison meat that's dried and they could have it shipped to your house because all the nutrition you're going to get. And what are they going to sell? They're going to sell bison meat on your videos. Patagonia is going to advertise on your videos, like whatever.
Yeah. North Face was one of the ads. Yeah.
So then as you evolve, that's while you're brainstorming, you got a lot to do to create your videos. You still got the full-time job, but you can decide what is it I want to build and what do I want to set up, because don't underestimate, for you, Stacie, and everybody watching this, even if your channel is small, you getting any attention at all is incredibly valuable. And do you trust your viewers, in the hands of advertisers? Well, sure, it's their decision to make, or do you want to serve them in whatever way possible? So again, that could be merch. It could be a motto. Eventually you put on a t-shirt. It could be different things, and you don't have to launch that immediately. But all I'm saying is now you have diversified your business and it's much more stable. If you were to say, Sean, I'm going to quit my job, what's your plan? Ad revenue. There's people who are making that work. But if for some reason YouTube got offended and they demonetized your channel or whatever, you'd just be in a vulnerable spot. So it's continually asking the question, man, what business model could I build around this? And there's so many. There's a lot of aligned products. There could be education related stuff. There could be travel related stuff, partnership with a travel company, brand deals with outdoor stuff, travel companies. You will sleep more peacefully at night when you know you're diversified.
Yeah, I think that's key. And my biggest fear, like you said, is the demonetization. Like I've had a couple of things come through where they limited my ads on one video, and then I appealed it and then it went back to normal, but one stayed. And it's one that's getting a lot of views right now. So that, dropped to like 0 revenue. So that's my biggest fear. And I try and really watch it. I don't know why that one got limited ads. I try and not post anything that.
Was it kind of because of violence or because of serious?
Well, it was a Mount Everest video, and in it, people die on Mount Everest. I'm talking about death and stuff. And at one point, I think I showed her body, like the person's body, like it was frozen and covered up and stuff, but it was being moved like really briefly in the video, and that's the only thing I can think of that might have been offensive in there. But some of the stuff you see on YouTube, I'm like, that's tame compared to some stuff that I see. So.
Yeah, and learning that all of these are we can land the plane here. Let's look up the definition of the word entrepreneur. So you and everybody watching this, even if you wouldn't consider yourself an entrepreneur, by simply setting out to start a YouTube channel that pays you full time, to be your own boss, to work for yourself. Here's the definition of an entrepreneur. It's a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, multiple, taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. Whew, there it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of us in general might be risk averse. You might say, Sean, I would totally do this, except for it's scary. It feels risky. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what entrepreneurship is. Well, I feel kind of uncertain. It feels like it has less stability than, if I just stayed in my 9 to 5. Yeah, this is the definition, like greater than normal financial risk. What is normal? Normal is the median. Normal is the average. The average person does want to stay comfortable, wants to avoid risk, wants to avoid doing something different. But ultimately, the person who ventures out into the creator economy, and by the way, organizes and operates a business. So that mental shift from just having a hobby channel to like, no, I am a business operator. I'm a creator CEO, chief executive operator, who am going to organize and plan and structure and think about, even though I don't know what it is. What is my product? What is my sales? What is my marketing? What is my business? Who does my business need? What kind of money does my business need? What will it take to scale this thing? And I'm going to take on greater than normal financial risk to do so. And a lot of times when things start feeling risky, uncertain, unsteady, welcome to the party. Like, I mean, that's what we signed up for. I mean, and so calculated risks, I think, is a key. Taking risks, but making sure you don't bet the entire farm, because sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Losses, as painful as they may be, can be education in entrepreneurship. To you, it might be blurring out, something like a body, describing it, like just learning, how can I communicate powerful stories, but also stay safe within, YouTube's guidelines. But we're not going to be able to avoid those kinds of things. There will be videos you launch that maybe get demonetized, and it's super discouraging because you're like, I lost out on hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars. But maybe you gain 10,000 subscribers and you learn from it. Like, it's risky. It's the nature of things.
And that video, actually, you talk about one video changing your channel, and that one launched, like, catapulted my channel because it brought in so many new viewers, and they all started watching my old videos, which why that 5-month-old video is picking up. So it's really changed the trajectory, just that one video. And so if it's demonetized, it's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's totally fine, because that's a great mindset to have, because it's still growth, still subscribers, which can watch other videos, and the future is forward. Any final questions I can answer for you?
No, I think that's it. You talking about the 12-month cycle, that's huge. That I'd never thought of that before, but that's something I haven't been through yet because the channel's so new. So I think that's going to be my plan, is to do it for a year and see. And then I think I'll feel really comfortable if I've been doing well for a year. Doing it on just a couple months makes me really nervous, quitting the job. So I think a year's plan is a great thing to go with.
If you enjoyed this podcast and are ready for some deep dive YouTube strategy, just go to thinkmasterclass.com to get access to my 1-hour on-demand YouTube strategy class. You'll be looking over my shoulder as I share my best tips, and you can watch it on demand right now at thinkmasterclass.com.